You want to talk Kathleen Kennedy? We haven't
Oh,
talked Kathleen Kennedy in a while.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good
All
idea.
right. Let's talk
Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy. Um,
Miss
so
Kennedy.
there, there was an interview. I guess the New York Times had an interview with Kathleen Kennedy, and she spoke of the struggles that they've had with Star Wars being a male-dominated fan base, as she put it. Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
I and we talked about this before, and we're not part of the, you know, I don't want to throw YouTube channels out there, but we're not part of that crew. We don't wear
Yep.
masks to, we don't have sources, and I
We're
think our
chill. We're
track
chill.
record is actually better than people that say they have sources based on
Yep.
predicting this how this has gone. So, but we're not your typical like Star Wars fanboy, right? And even going to like super fans, like even Theory, right? At some
Yeah.
points, right? Um,
Yeah. Oh, sure.
and I love his content. So,
Same. Yeah.
but I know that to some extent she's right,
Mhm.
but she's not. She has some. Um, want to phrase this properly. There's some truth to what she's trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's fans that there's just some men just want to watch the world burn,
Oh,
right?
sure. Yeah.
And
All right, Batman.
uh, Alfred, um, and but some other fans, right? So I think that you and I fall on that other category, and I would say that most of the Star Wars fans that have a proper voice, like not counting Mike Zero, right? It's like they, you know, we don't dislike it just because Ray is a female. We don't dislike it because Rose just got in there in that movie and did the thing, right? We don't dislike
Right.
it because Captain Holdo took the ship and went hyperspace into the main ship for the First Order. We don't dislike Kenobi because Deborah Chow, right? Like that that's what I'm trying to convey here. I think
Hmm.
we
Yeah.
don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Like I don't dislike the season 3 of Mando or whatever because of Bo. Right? I'm just trying to say that, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, our criticism is based on the quality of the content, not who is either directing or who's acting, right? Um, and it's the same reason that I've been critical of the Acolyte, and I'm still not gonna watch it. You tell me how it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not because the showrunner is a female. I don't care, right? I don't care.
Right. Right.
Problem is that when you come in and you're trying to be the showrunner and you're telling people that the guy that made up the whole thing doesn't know what he's talking about, then we have a problem, right? So, and going back to Ray, right? My problem with Ray is not that she's a female. It's just that she is basically space Superman or Star Wars Superman. It's like she's not, and even Superman like again. I know that a lot of people criticize the Snyder take on Superman, but I liked it because he was flawed. And why couldn't Ray be flawed, right? Why can't she be awesome at everything with no training? Like why can't she struggle like everyone else, right? Um, the best example is Leia in the original trilogy, where she was a strong, empowering female character. She was a leader, a fighter. She was out there down in the trenches and leading and doing the thing, right? She was an awesome, awesome female character, and at the same time, she had the sensibilities, falling in love with Han and all that. So that was awesome. But then you have Ray. I was like, oh yeah, I'm great at everything, and you can't beat me. That's our criticism. Um, you know, I know that is tough, and the way that she paints it, right? It makes it sound, you know, the vocal minority on social media, right? It's like a quote from the interviews that she did is my belief is that storytelling does not need to be representative of all people.
Does need to be.
That does need to be. That's an easy decision for me. Okay, he said, but she admits that it's terrifying working with, you know, a franchise like this in the era of social media. And yeah, that's fine, right? It's like, yeah, it's great that you include everyone. Uh, George did it the proper way, and that's the problem. Like our problem is not, and we've been critical of Star Wars, um, not because of who's leading. Not, you know what? And at the end of the day, it's not even about Kathleen Kennedy. It's about the content that she's greenlit and how things have been done. I don't have anything against it.
Yeah.
I told you guys that she's staying, and Bob was leaving like
You
before that. She's still there.
and you didn't need a mask to tell us that.
Yeah, right, right. And that's the thing. Like everyone was
Yeah.
predicting that oh she's gone. She's been gone, and her emails
My
turned
sources
off.
tell me
Yeah, her email's been turned off for a year now. How is she getting emails?
Jon Favreau will say Star Wars.
John, John,
Come on.
John Favreau has done a phenomenal job,
Yeah.
and he can surely lead the franchise. Honestly, um, but at the end of the day, right, and the same criticism goes to best example I can give you again, Book of Boba Fett. Male writer, male lead, male director. That's not good. Like it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is that is the quality good? Is the quality is the product or what you're trying to do well written? My gripes, I think Kenobi was fine visually. My problem was that there's some gaping holes in the story that were just not addressed, and my problem was more with the writing of it.
Yeah.
You know, there were glimpses of like, oh, this is great, and then on the other hand, right, you have Andor when you're hitting all the, you know, you're hitting everything, right? You slow burn, but once you start cooking, it just goes. So yeah, I mean that's my opinion on it. I know that you kind of feel mostly the way I do, but go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like the first thing is just reiterating like what you said is I don't want just because I am a male and if I criticize Star Wars, it's to be grouped into a sector of people that do exist that I will acknowledge that unfortunately are
Right.
extremely toxic
Yeah.
and will immediately attack based upon whether it's a female or a political ideology or some whatever that might look like that for some strange reason people take into a science fiction space epic fandom and so yeah like I don't want to be grouped into that when I say hey I don't think Tales of the Empire was the best thing. Well, guess what? Dave Filoni did that.
Right.
Oh, but he probably doesn't like it because the stories that they followed were female characters in the Empire, and if it was male characters, he would have loved it. No, that's not why I'm saying I criticizing it at all. I'm just telling you, like when you talk about memorable Star Wars, I think Tales of the Jedi was more memorable. And guess what? That one had Ahsoka. It has a female character that we love.
Right.
So you can't pick.
You got two
You can't
female
cherry
leads, dude.
two female leads.
Yeah.
You cannot cherry pick the ones that you're like, oh, but you're a toxic male because you're attacking this. But then the other ones that we do like that do have female leads in them, we're going, oh, well, make an exception.
Right.
Um, I think Kathleen Kennedy, um, she has every right to speak from this because she's on the front facing of it.
Absolutely.
And I think people need to be able to stop and listen. and think about how they conduct themselves in this stuff. Uh, there is Star Wars YouTubers that I like and have enjoyed their content. I think that they are pretty level-headed, but even some of them, unfortunately, have given voices to maybe some of the wrong people. And it's sad because I'm not a censorship kind of person. I think that like if you're think a certain type of way, you're allowed to say it, but with that comes consequences. Like if you're gonna say something really dumb, we're all gonna know. You know what I mean? I don't want you to hide in a
Right.
closet and we don't know you're
and
crazy.
and uh,
Um,
and go
and
just touching. I'm sorry to interrupt, man, but like just touching back and like we're not that kind of channel, right? If we want it, we could be.
oh yeah,
There's plenty of again. I don't want to say because I really um do not want to give this guy's a platform, and we poke fun of Mike Zero because he's just freaking hilarious, right?
yeah,
But like there's other channels, like and you know
yeah, oh
which
yeah,
you know which ones I'm talking about, um that that may they do bank on this, and
right,
they're always on the outrage and the clickbait outrage,
right.
and the it's like, oh, this thing is terrible and this thing. And we're not like that, right? We're objective, and like again, She-Hulk is always going to be the best example. When it was good, we said it was good. When it was trash, we said it was trash. You know, Eh,
First two episodes.
right? Yeah, yeah. And then after that, everything else is trash,
After that,
right?
it went down.
Yeah. So, um, so we can
Yeah.
we're objective. We don't have to like no one's pay like we're not here to give you guys false pretenses. We're here to give you guys our objective opinion on this stuff. And again, Joel and I, you and I, we've agreed to disagree plenty of times, like
Oh
on the
sure,
show.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like I know you're still salty that I think NFTs are a scam, and
I don't agree.
I will
Yeah,
still think about, dude.
I think it's ahead of
I'll
its
I will
time.
take it to the grave. So, but yeah, man. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, you're good. You're good. No, I just think like when it comes to this stuff, there's a lot of things that yes could be because of how they maybe portrayed a female character. There's certain things that they did with Ray that I don't think for me was because she was just super powerful. It's just the way that they just handled just her overall story. That was like they had something really interesting in the first movie set up, and then they just really dropped the ball on the rest of it. But like, there's so many parts of it that doesn't mean that I just say everything is bad, everything's good. There's just a lot of differences that I have, I think, with the direction that they're going. And I would not go out of my way to directly attack or enjoy attacking these creators because of them being a female, or same thing with the leads. That's not going to make it good or bad. But with all that being said, like the Acolyte's coming, right? Like it's coming next week. This is not the time that I think that this kind of stuff, this statement, which is obviously why, because there's she's having an opportunity to go on a media tour,
Right.
and this is why you're gonna start to see some of these conversations come about. The New York Times took an opportunity to ask her about this, and it makes sense considering the upcoming Ray film project, this project being one of the first TV series being led by a female showrunner, Leslie Headland. Um, and so like it makes sense. I'm not saying that the question was bad or anything. I'm just saying like I don't like the Acolyte needs to stand on its feet because the Acolyte's a good show. It does not need to stand on its feet because we need to support this because it's a woman, or we need to support this
Right.
or it just needs to be a good show that people watch, and that's okay. People support it. I'm saying because of being I'm just saying like on its own merit, it needs that. And I'm gonna give it that chance. Ironically enough, I know I don't think I got to mention this to you yet, Obed, but I am intending on trying to do. They actually have an early screening. Star Wars was posting about on social media. They are going to have an early screening in Orlando on Monday for the first two episodes in theaters.
Okay.
So I've already got my reservation. I'm going to try and make it out to that. So I will see it a full day before, because it won't be until Tuesday at 9 p.m. when the first ones come out. And so, yeah, I'm not just giving it a chance. Like, I'm actually going to go out of my way to try and watch the first two in a theater. because they offered it. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Sure. Um, I like no I my point being is I don't want if I come about this and say the Acolyte's one of the worst things or it is bad, if that does end up being the case. I don't know that. But if that isn't end up being the case, I want people to be
Right.
like, well, he's just saying that because he went in thinking it was gonna be horrible. I'm genuinely giving it a chance. Most Star Wars fans have been jaded, they're tired, and they're just like, I don't if it doesn't interest me, I'm not even gonna waste my time because I just you don't even like I think in your case, Obed, like you don't even want to be angry
I
like you don't
know.
even want to like you don't even want to like spend your breath and energy like where some of these other channels like you're saying and
Yeah.
people it's this and I don't want to go too much on a rant here but it's like an outrage culture. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they're waking up and they're like what are we angry about today?
Right.
And it makes it's like putting down Star Wars literally is like some way trying to like validify themselves or make themselves feel better or get more clicks and make more money and that's just not what we want to be known for. This we live in a day and age where this videos are going to live on beyond us. These things are being preserved now and saved. Before it was a he said she said stories behind it,
Right.
whatever, how someone made someone feel. This is the kind of stuff your daughter is going to be able to look back and say, like, yeah, my dad was truly having like a level-headed approach when, when he was talking about why he did or didn't like something. And I just think the way we are conducting ourselves is not that we're not trying to be insincere, but like this is truly just our beliefs and our standpoints on the stuff. And I can only hope that we encourage the fandom to do the same thing. And like, if you don't like something, express it. They're totally
Yeah.
fair to say that,
Yeah.
but it's all about how you do it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Again, She-Hulk.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's a
And
great
yeah.
example.
So yeah, you tell me how it is, and then I'll consider it. Yeah.
No,
Let's.
no, and you've always said that. You've
Yeah.
always said that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it's actually good, you'll go back, but you have no intentions, and that's fair. I
Right. No.
respect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
And
now, that's me with Agatha. I'm gonna tell you right now,
oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
have zero intentions of watching
I
Agatha.
have no interest in that.
I do not want to watch six
Yeah.
hours of that.
It got to be
But I
like
wanted to see Echo. Don't tell me it's one female character or something. Like I wanted to see Echo. I saw
right.
Echo.
I watched it. I enjoyed Echo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing with Agatha is like, man, is it's like, what are you gonna do, right? Like, unless you're either building for something bigger or just like blow my socks off, like you got that trailers need those trailers that come out when the show's around the corner, they got they gotta they gotta ring it. It's like
I know.
I don't know. That's something that I'm really not like
There's no
not even
excitement.
a passing interest in, right?
I forget it's coming out this
So
year sometimes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's another Marvel. It's probably the only other Marvel thing that's coming out this year, right?
Yeah,
Other
I'll
than
tell you. You have
Deadpool, yeah,
Deadpool, and then you got Agatha.
yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's nuts.